focused farmer. I've been living here in Belgrade for the past nearly 15 years. I've been working in communications, PR, branding. I have a company called Not a Pipe, brand consulting, it's something like this. And these two books, Grumpy in Belgrade and Grumpy in Belgrade, The Prehistory, were written, they were basically compilations of blogs. I've been writing for B92 since 2006, and before that I was writing for a couple of other magazines that are no longer existing. One of them is called Belgrade New Times.
My name is Sakaj. Rio de Janeiro, Rio Sakaj. I came from Japan, Tokyo.
Also, I had a column for 3 years in Politika, Amerikanac u Beogradu, which they stopped publishing it in 2013, but even now people still stop me on the street because I guess a lot of people used to read it.
Kada je Rio došao u Srbiju?
Rio Sakaj je došao u Novi Sad 3. februara ove godine u sklopu saradnje između JJP grupe iz Japana i Fudbalskog kluba Vojvodina. To je saradnja koja podrazumeva da on provede godinu dana na stažiranju u Fudbalskom klubu Vojvodina i radi sa trenerom iz naše omladinske škole Miodragom Pantelićem, koji predvodi generaciju 2002. godište. Nakon toga predviđen da se vrati u Japan i to iskustvo i znanje koje je stekao u Vojvodini prenese u radu sa svojim klubom.
What was your reason for coming to Serbia?
Well, in the long list of places where I might have chosen to live, Serbia wasn't on the list. I came here because of my girlfriend at the time, and then we got married, and I stayed. In the meantime, I've been married again, and I'm still staying, so...
Vojvodina Academy study coaching. Come here. Yes, coming here.
You wanted to come here to study more about football?
Football coaching. Now generation 2002 together training.
Actually, Serbia is the longest place I've lived anywhere in my adult life. Because I moved around a lot. I lived in America until I was 12 only, and then I was in Saudi Arabia, France, Italy, UK, Germany, back to Italy, and then here. So I've been moving around a little bit. Yeah.
Are you satisfied? Do you like football here?
Yes, good training every day. Ide lopta. Ide lopta. Dubina. Yes, Dubina.
You learn Serbian?
Yes. Yes.
It was, I never heard English spoken. I always felt like every time I heard somebody speaking English, I'd turn around because I'm sure they were talking to me because I never heard any foreigners. A lot of the things were very, surprising to me, and that's where the idea of the writing came out. I've been writing all my life, and usually it's not really. When I say grumpy in Belgrade, grumpy means, someone who's complaining a lot. And I'm not really complaining a lot, but what I'm doing is things that just seem wrong to me,
Ja sam Ivan Kovanović, sarađivao sam sa Krisom na ovoj knjizi, ja sam radio kao njegov urednik za izdavačku kuću Komše i tako sam upoznao Krisa kroz tu saradnju. To je za nas bio prilično veliki iskorak, pošto smo mi kao izdavačka kuća ranije radili, specijalizovali smo se za turističke vodiče kroz Srbiju, Beograd, Crnu Goru, Bosnu i Hercegovinu, Sloveniju, kroz ceo region i nismo izdavali ovakve knjige.
I've had a very good experience here working. I started a couple of different companies. I've worked with over 150 different companies as my clients, both in PR and in branding. I find that there's an openness to new ideas, and the will to do things. I think not everything is easy. I mean, there's, especially when you're dealing with older companies, you have a lot of people who are set in older ideas that are no longer, no longer as valid as they used to be. It makes it sometimes hard to get things done. On the other hand, because it's relatively small, and I'd say it's relatively isolated, it means you have room to do a lot of things that you couldn't do in Western Europe.
Kad smo upoznali Krisa i krenuli da radimo s njim, veoma brzo smo shvatili da to nije toliko teško i da će saradnja sa njim da bude veoma laka. Delimično iz tog razloga što je on već sve tekstove uspeo da, on već imao pripremljene, pošto ih je izdavao preko raznih sajtova, kao što je on rekao, kroz B9 i tako dalje. I plus iz tog razloga što je on veoma otvoren bio za saradnju i veoma profesionalno radio i bio otvoren za nove ideje, sugestije za strukturu same knjige i tako dalje. Tako da je to bilo sjajno jedno iskustvo za nas i za mene lično isto, ta saradnja sa Krisom.
Was everyday life the reason for that to write this book?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is direct experience, I wrote a piece about, I had an old car, an old Mazda POS. It was parked in the Mercator. It was actually not too long after they opened, and it died. I couldn't move it, and I didn't live too far away, but I couldn't get the car out. So I asked some people if they could give me cables to jump, and nobody's like, no. And after about 45 minutes of that, I decided that I'm just going to do it myself, and I start pushing the car. And I pushed it out of the parking, and I pushed it down the street, and in about 10 minutes, there were 10 guys around me helping me push. Nobody wanted to give me jumper cables, but they're all happy to come out and help me push the car. So.
You told me that you in Japan have smaller playgrounds for football.
This Vojvodina Academy training center, very big. Japan, very small. AM first team training, PM afternoon academy training. One pitch only.
The lifestyle is nice. It's easy, it's nice to be able to come and sit in a cafe. I work a lot from a cafe. My company has no offices, for example, and I work a lot from here at Muha, and I work from 2 or 3 other cafes in the neighborhood. It's, it's I'd say low pressure environment, There's a lot to do, and it's not easy, but somehow it's not overwhelming, so.
Kakve su reakcije čitalaca?
Na samom početku mi najviše informacije imamo u stvari kako su čitaoci reagovali na njegove blogove, pošto tu odmah ostavljaju komentare raznorazne, kao što je i Kris rekao, ne uvek baš sjajne, ne uvek pozitivne, ali i pozitivne.
I can never talk enough about how people drive in Belgrade, for example. It's just crazy when I'm going down the street and somebody is parked on the corner or has come up to a red light and just get out of their car, or they double park side by side, so the whole street is blocked. It's all right. People don't drive better elsewhere, but I'm here. I'm looking at it, and I'm going to write about it.
You have to complain about something.
I have to say something. and that's, I guess that's the essentially what it is that I see something and I say it.
Iz našeg iskustva kroz promociju knjige naišli smo na najčešće na to da ljudi ili ne razumeju baš najbolje taj njegov specifičan, ironičan ili sarkastičan humor, ili ga baš dobro razumeju i onda ih prosto oduševi u stvari njegov novi ugao iz koga posmatra život u Beogradu i Beograđane same.
We try our drinks, our food.
Yes, kebab. Kebab and wine. Wine very good.
Wine is good.
Yes, good.
And cheap.
Yeah, cheap, very cheap.
What is price of wine in Japan?
Very high cost, 2,000 dinar.
For 1 liter, for 1 bottle.
Yes, one bottle.
1 bottle.
Yes.
I used to go by Cevapi and by Lone Piazza. There used to be a place that was open from 0 to 25. I thought that was cool. We have an extra hour every day that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
In this club, player, coaching, very good. Everybody coaching good training program and player very concentration.
Veoma pozitivno reaguje i na igrače, i na klub, i na trenere, i na sve svoje saradnike, kao što i svi mi pozitivno reagujemo na njega. Dosta je pozitivna ličnost, vedra, spreman da uči, kao svi Japanci pretpostavljam, dosta studiozno prilazi svom poslu, tako da za sada zaista se potiče dosta dobro.
Ja bih hteo pesmom da ti kažem koliko te srce moje voli, kao bola na zoru, kao cveće rosu, kao oči svoje, toliko te voli srce moje, kao bola na zoru, kao cveće rosu, kao oči svoje, toliko te voli srce moje.
After being here so long, one of my problems today is that everything starts to seem normal to me, you know, and I stop. The same reaction that I had 10 years ago is completely different, you know. I'll see something like that and I won't say anything. It won't bother me because it's like, okay.
My team, Machida Zerubiya, Tokyo, big town, Tokyo. Outside, small town. Novi Sad, same, looks like Novi Sad. Very academy, important, good player, first team, another team.
What do you think about Novi Sad, Subotica? Because we are from Novi Sad, I have to ask it.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, I really don't know Novi Sad very well. The only thing I liked about Novi Sad is I drove there. Somebody gave me an address, and I found the place within 5 minutes. I found it very easy to get around Novi Sad. That was so cool. Compared to Belgrade, I still get lost here. So that was one thing. I really like Subotica. I think it's a beautiful little town. I was only there for 1 day.
Do you know who is Pixie?
Yes.
Yeah?
Very good.
Is he popular?
Nagoya, very famous. Everybody, Pixie.
Everybody knows Pixie.
Yeah, knows Pixie.
Yeah?
Yes.
ボックスへ来る後ろから服部もう一つ今度はロペスストイコビッチを見ているストイコビッチがフリーになっているフリーが入ってきた相手の方が人数完全にフリーになる頭がいった分かったわフェイントをかけたもう一つフェイントをかけたもう一つフェイントストイコビッチの2点目素晴らしい完全に翻弄されました広島ディフェンス陣すごいですね
Da li je poredio možda navijače iz Japana i naše navijače? Ima li to neke razlike?
Pa nismo ga za sada pitali o tome, ali koliko je rekao da je bio oduševljen atmosferom i posjetom i navijanjem i tom nekom energijom koja vlada između igrača i navijača. Tako da za sada nije poredio ništa, ali je svakako stekao pozitivne utiske o navijačima Vojvodine.
You were living all around the world, and what is so special in Serbia besides those places?
But that question assumes that I stopped here because something is more special than someplace else. Not true. It's, you know, it's when you live a lot of places, when you move around, everything, there's good and bad about everything, right? There's, you know, so many inconvenient things about living in Paris, so many inconvenient things about living in London, you know. But it's hard to say, you know. I can't say that it's better to here than any place else. But on the other hand, I'm still here, so you know that must say something about it.
Dobar dan, kako ste? Dobro. Leba desna. Yes. Yes.
Tell me something about Serbian language. You understand almost everything, maybe? Yeah? But speaking? Can you speak something in Serbian?
Slabo, pomalo. Yeah, it's difficult. I understand a lot, but when I speak, I miss words. So I could be, trying to say something, and then I'll throw, I learn the little things that everybody says, like snachi, onda, snash, filling in the blanks because I don't know the words to say. And if someone doesn't speak English, I mean, a lot of people speak really good English here, but if someone doesn't speak English, we can have a conversation. Limited, but yeah.
Da li se planira izdanje na srpskom jeziku ili samo na engleskom?
Dosta smo razmišljali o izdanju na srpskom jeziku i veoma bi volili to da uradimo, međutim, teško nam je da nađemo način da prevedemo taj njegov veoma specifičan način izražavanja koji je stvarno utemeljen u engleskom jeziku i način na koji se on, pogotovo humor. Najteže je prevesti taj humor na odgovarajući način.
Can we understand ourselves more if we read Grumpy in Belgrade?
Some people say so. I get a lot of comments, especially when I was on B92. People saying that they see themselves through my eyes a little bit differently. A lot of people say, shut up and go home. So that's got to have that as well. But, nobody... On the one hand, I say things as I see them. I'm not trying to be. I don't think one people's better than another people, country, nationality, whatever like that. I think I just see things that strike me as different from me, and therefore, if someone's looking at it, they might say, "What's he talking about?" Because they don't see it yourself. It's like looking in the mirror. You don't always like what you see when you look in the mirror, but some days you do.
Ja mislim da postoji tu i tamo prevodi pojedinih njegovih blogova, ja mislim najčešće na Politici, mada nisam 100% siguran, gde se vidi da je prevod, koliko god dobar bio prevodilac, nije baš tačno ono što je Kris, mislim ne predstavlja tačno ono što je Kris hteo da kaže, tako da nažalost za sad to stoji samo kao možda neki budući plan, ako uspemo da nađemo način da prevedemo, ali za sad ne.
Do you listen Serbian music, maybe?
Music, cafe, listen, good. Japanese, all the music, same. Good music. And beautiful girl.
Bio na Karađorđu, ali je najviše vremena proveo do sada ovde u centru Ujedin Boškov, tako?
Da, ovde treniraju sve naše mlađe selekcije, kao ostalom i prvi tim, dakle ovo je trening centar Fudbalskog kluba Vojvodina i svi oni treniraju ovde tokom čitave nedelje. Na Karađorđu se samo igraju utakmice, eto juče jedna utakmica protiv Rada, on je po prvi put bio i na stadionu Vojvodine, odnosno po prvi put da gleda jednu utakmicu Vojvodine na Karađorđu i kao i svi mi koji smo bili na stadionu, ponovo je pozitivno sa tog meča.
It's hard for me to work in Serbia because I don't like to get up in the morning. I prefer to sleep. But bureaucracy? Nah, I haven't had too much trouble with that. I've had, a lot of weirdness at the very beginning when I was trying to get my visa. In 2002, there was no protocol. There was no set of rules. And I would show up at the police with all my papers. And there's a little window in the MUP down on Savska. And there was a woman who was at least 10,000 years old who was sitting behind the window, and she would tell you, okay, you need this and this and this and this and this, go away. You come back the next day and you have all the things she said, and she said, okay, but then you need this and this and this and this, and this is no good and this is no good and this is no good. And it'd take 5 days just to get the right papers because she didn't know. Nobody knew. They were like making it up on the spot. And then finally when you get by her, you have to do that again, the whole song and dance with the police inside. And it used to take a month at least to get the papers done.
A šta najčešće kažu ljudi? Kako komentarišu sve te priče? Da li se slažu sa onim što on piše? Da li im se ne dopada? Da li se suprotstavljaju stavovima? Kako to izgleda?
Ja mislim da je najčešće nailazimo na iznenađenje kod čitaoca, gde on u stvari primećuje neke stvari u našem svakodnevnom životu koje mi sami ne bismo primetili ili smo toliko navikli na njih da nam postanu normalne, a on sa tim svežim pristupom, pogotovo tada, pre 10 godina ili 12 kad je došao ovde, stvarno video stvari iz nekog novog ugla i uspeo da ih predstavi kroz svoje tekstove.
This book was published 2 years ago. It's approximately 4 centimeters thick and can be used to prop up your piano if you need to level it out. Also, if you have a very small child, they can use that as something to sit on their chair so that they can reach the table. Very conveniently packaged. It has a bunch of words inside that I wrote. I'm not sure, some of them are interesting. This one's not so much. These are good. So I would suggest that you read it and learn something about the way the mind of an insane person works.
How long you want to stay here?
Long? 1 year.
1 year.
1 year.
And after that, you go back to Japan?
Yes, back to Japan. This club study come to back to Machida. Machida players teaching.
Tell me please something about your plans.
Well, at the moment I've been developing this new company, Not a Pipe, which is going quite nicely. I'm working on a book about branding. It's a different approach to branding from a sort of a human point of view, not based on... It's based on the personality of a brand, like as if it were a human being, as opposed to marketing studies and numbers and things like that. This is much more about a concept. I'm also teaching. I'm teaching 2 courses in luxury branding in Shanghai every semester. I'm about to go off next week for 3 weeks to teach there. So that I was hoping to be able, maybe I will be at some point able to do that here as well. There are a few different places where they're beginning to look at luxury branding. So,
would you like to come back?
Come back? Yeah.
One day.
Yes.
Yeah? You like everything here?
Yes. Good town, good team, good people. Come back. Novi Sad.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What will be the main reason for you to stay and live here?
Some mornings I couldn't tell you that. There's no good reason for me to stay here. No, that's not. I don't know. I mean, I've developed. I mean, my life is here. I've been doing everything. I've developed my business. I have a lot of friends here. I don't see any place that I would go to that would be better right now.